If she had any clue how manifestation actually works, that you manifest both bad and good things, all she teaches is manifesting good things, she would understand that she's manifested this situation and she can unmanifest it because she is the only cause. She is the source of all. He has no free will and he can only play out the story she holds about him. So if she holds a story that he's a bad guy, that he's trying to control her, that he's an abuser, that he'll keep the child, that she has no control over the situation, that he holds all the cards because he's in America and she isn't, she will literally not get that child back. So right now, in the zeitgeist, there is a story of the wizard Liz, the girl who teaches and preaches kind of self-love and independence and being your higher self and walking away if a man treats you badly, okay? And being treated well. And right now, she's being treated like absolute crap by her baby daddy. Now, I did a viral video on TikTok back when the baby daddy cheated on her. And I'll put it here to link to on my TikTok, okay? And it was called Never Trust a Man, or You Should Never Trust a Man, ? The importance there was the question mark. And her biggest fear came true, which is you should never trust a man because they'll betray you, okay? And what she said around that time was it was too good to be true. Now, if you have a fear that it's too good to be true, that's based on your concept of self, that things won't work out for you and someone's going to hurt you or do the dirty on you or betray you in some way. So you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And she was always waiting for the other shoe to drop. But this guy came in and seemed wonderful, she thought. And then when it all went to shit, she was like, oh, well, it was too good to be true. It wasn't too good to be true. She literally manifested what happened with this guy. Now she's further manifested what's now happened with this guy. And what's happened now is she's had a child with him. She thought she could be all independent, but he's financially tied to her, stayed in her life. She's had domestic situations with her where she's literally got a restraining order out against her, been violent towards him and hit him and all this stuff because of stuff he's done to her, like revenge, corn, and all this stuff, okay? Now she's left America to go and renew her visa in the United Arab Emirates, and he has got actual custody of the child physically in America. She's trying to convince him to come over there, and she's pretty much feeling like she's lost her child. She doesn't know what to do, okay? He has stolen from her, apparently, cheated on her multiple times when they were together, all this stuff. And her MO was, when she was going to have this child, was, I'm going to do it by myself. Now, that hasn't eventuated because obviously this person is the father and he needed to be involved in the child's life. Now, so many people weighed in around the time of her staying with him and then choosing to have the child with him when she was pregnant and all this stuff. I'm not going to weigh in on whether she should have stayed or if she should have had the kid or any. That's irrelevant, okay? What I'm here to teach you is how you manifest your fears. And at the time that my viral video came out about her original situation, I actually brought out a mini course called You Manifest Your Fears. And I'll put it here when this goes on YouTube, and it's also in my link tree right now. You can go and do it. Now, Liz obviously didn't do that course because it's got worse for her. Now, if you look at what's actually occurred for her, I'll tell you. I've written notes on what's actually happened, right? So if you look at her history of what she teaches, behind what she teaches is really the innate fear of a man controlling you, that you must be independent and take your power back. Unfortunately, underneath all of those teachings is the fear that someone will either control or abuse you or hurt you or betray you or leave you, okay? And if you know her history, you will know that she came from a family where her mother was abused. I think her sister and her also were abused in some way physically by their father, who she also described, I think, as a deadbeat, okay? So she's always telling women to aspire to someone who's financially savvy, someone who can provide for you, a provider man, someone who's rich, and you should deserve that, blah, blah, blah. So this guy came in giving her everything she dreamed of, the riches, the gifts, the financial stability, the everything. He looked like he was wealthy, blah, blah. It turns out it was a complete con, okay? And he was pretending, and he was being everything she dreamed of. It's like he'd watched her, studied her, and became her dream person. And then she, in her very, very flawed understanding of manifestation, thought that she had manifested her dream man when actually what she had manifested was her complete nightmare and her fears. And she manifested her fears, but she wasn't aware of that at the time. Now, those of you who are going to watch this and say, are you saying it's her fault? Are you saying he's really a good person? Are you saying she should put up with this treatment? Are you saying you manifest abuse? Guys, I'm not saying any of those things. I am trying to teach you that you manifest your fears, that your subconscious mind is there to keep you safe. And it will keep reminding you of all the things you're fearful of in order to keep you safe, keep you alive. And what it will do, it will perceive situations in certain ways and also manifest people into your life who will be the actual manifestation of your fears. So if you fear a man hurting you, you will manifest a man hurting you. If you fear a man cheating on you, you'll manifest a cheat, even if he was never a cheater before. If you most fear a person abusing you, you'll get yourself in an abuse cycle. And if you ask a psychologist, they'll tell you what an abuse cycle is. It's going from one abusive relationship to another. I'm not saying the person deserves that. I'm saying you need to become aware of what you're most fearing so you don't keep creating that reality in your life, because your subconscious likes what is familiar, even if what is familiar is not what you want. But it's very familiar to your subconscious. And that's why when I'm teaching you to change your concept of self, it can seem very difficult at first, because your subconscious is there to keep you safe and it likes to keep you the you are. So if you have a constant fear of men cheating and you're trying to be of the awareness that men don't cheat and men will treat you well, then your subconscious mind is still going to remind you that men cheat, or still going to look out for signs that they're cheating, or a third party, or whatever, or women you should be jealous of, or make you look through his phone when you're fearful, or wonder who that was on his Instagram, purely because your mind has got a story that this is what men do, and in order to keep you safe, it's going to keep reminding you in order to keep you safe, because that's its job. So if Liz had come from an abusive household, her mind is going to constantly remind her that men cannot be trusted, which is what her teaching is. She's taken that to the extreme of, because men can't be trusted, you must pick this ideal man, and also if they turn out wrong, you must leave. Okay, not understanding that she's actually manifested the situation with each man that she's had to leave. And those of you who say, oh, but there's just some bad people, there's just narcissists, there's just, guys, literally you manifest narcs, okay? If you are an overgiver or a person who doesn't feel good enough, you'll literally manifest a person into your life who'll treat you that way. If you didn't feel that way about yourself, you wouldn't get that treatment, okay? Everyone is simply your reflection, and no one in your reality has any free will but to be who you are imagining them to be based on who you imagine yourself to be. And right now I have a course that's just been extended for the whole month of June as well, called the No Free Will Master Course, which is happening inside my Subconscious Laws Squad, my private monthly coaching group in Facebook. If you join for the month, you'll be able to do this month, and next month you'll be able to do this full course, understanding that everyone will manifest exactly as you fear them to be, because they have no free will but to reflect your deepest, darkest fears, but also your new concept of self, your new self. So many people on this video are saying, okay, we get your point that you manifest your fears, but what are you meant to do? People are writing, I feel so bad for her. So what's your solution to her problem? The solution to the problem is to uncover your fears. And unfortunately, Liz is not aware of her own fears. She loves, like so many people who've suffered from abuse, unfortunately, have fallen into the trap of love to play the victim. And unfortunately, in every situation, Liz has taken absolutely no accountability for her own actions and her own thinking, and everything is because of this guy. There is not one video I've seen, not one live, not one thing, and I've hardly watched any crap, but stuff's come up on my For You page, where she takes any accountability for her own fearful thoughts, her own manifestations, her own actions. Not at all. It's all about this guy being a bad guy. He's a bad person. She's even accusing him of being gay. So much negativity about this person, as if nothing has anything to do with the choices she made, the thinking she has, the fears she holds, the lack of awareness. And you guys have got to be very, very discerning about who you watch online and whether they are aware of their own shit. And unfortunately, Liz is completely blind to her own issues. And I'm not trying to pay her out here. I'm just pointing out to you guys how many coaches online, and whether she's a coach or not, guru, whatever the fuck she is, have zero awareness of their own shit. Now, they might have some awareness, but not the deep shit that's manifesting their current reality. And she's even pleading on live saying, what do I do? If she was even slightly self-aware about her own fears, she would know that what she needs to do right now is think differently about herself and think differently about the situation. If she had any clue how manifestation actually works, that you manifest both bad and good things, all she teaches is manifesting good things, she would understand that she's manifested this situation and she can unmanifest it because she is the only cause. She is the source of all. He has no free will and he can only play out the story she holds about him. So if she holds a story that he's a bad guy, that he's trying to control her, that he's an abuser, that he'll keep the child, that she has no control over the situation, that he holds all the cards because he's in America and she isn't, she will literally not get that child back. And this is a really scary thing to say, I'm really sorry. But like in the same way as you look at Hayden Panettiere, remember that story of Hayden Panettiere? She came from an abusive background. She was a child star. She had a terrible childhood. She ended up with Klitschko, what's his name? Vladimir Klitschko. He ended up taking her child off her after she was an addict, and I don't think she's ever seen that child again. And that child now lives in Chechnya or whatever with the father. And her own fears came true based on her story of herself being not good enough to be a mother, that being an addict was bad, that she deserved less than because she wasn't good enough. And then that man reflected that story by literally being like, yes, you're not a good mother. Here, I'm going to take your child away. Now, in Liz's case, it's not a story of her being a bad person and therefore he's going to take the child away, but she's got an extremely strong story that men control you, that men will abuse you. So what is he currently doing? This is the ultimate control, taking your child off you. And she talks about it as if it's her child. She said, I want to, what did she say? I want to get my child back and just be alone and be in peace. Well, it's his child too. And you chose to have it with him. So if you've got a constant story that men will control you, that men are abusive, that men will treat you badly, that you must be strong, that you must be independent, that you must fear the worst from men, or even if you're not fearing the worst outwardly, if you're still holding stories that men will treat you badly, guess what will fucking happen to you? Now, those of you who don't understand this are going to think I'm playing the blame game, I'm victim shaming or some fucking bullshit. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't understand how manifestation actually works, you will think that's what I'm saying. And please feel free to write in the comments that that's what I'm saying, and you'll prove to yourself that you are just like Liz and you do not, and I repeat, do not, how you create your own reality. And everyone who is in my following who does understand this will school you in the comments and make you understand. And if you really want to understand it, come and join my group right now, or just go and do the freebie, You Manifest Your Fears, to really get this, because so many of you don't. And sadly, that's how you get yourself in the situations you are in, whether it's a third party stealing your man away, whether it's losing all your money, whether it's your parents controlling you, whether it's abuse, whatever. Whatever it is still in the back of your subconscious mind creating your fucking life. And instead of you facing it, changing it, and changing you, you are blaming the other, even though they are a seeming other. Everyone is you pushed out, and they will literally be made manifest in your reality, presenting to you on a fucking silver platter your greatest nightmare fears, if you do not get a hold of them, if you do not change them. And that's exactly what's happened to the Wizard Liz. And through this entire process, she has kept herself completely unaware of her own thinking. She has played I'm dancing around the living room and showing how wonderful she is, and I'm this and I'm a strong woman and all this fucking bullshit. And now she's sitting online as the ultimate victim, boo-hooing about what's happened to her because she did not want to do the work on herself. Now, I'm not saying work on herself. I'm saying uncover her own shit. She was blissfully unaware about her own shit, her own fears, how she created the first situation with him being in DMs with girls, how she's created the situation with getting pregnant and not being with him, how she's created this situation. She has absolutely no awareness about her own stuff. And it's really sad. So if she wants to get that child back, what she has to do is think she's in control, take back her own power by understanding that she's so fucking powerful, she's actually created this from her own fears. So she can harness her fears, not fear them anymore, step into the state of the powerful manifester that she actually is. Unfortunately, she's just powerfully manifested a whole lot of negative stuff. And powerfully manifest a reality that she does want, where she is in control, where she does have a child back, where they get along harmoniously as co-parents, or whatever it is she wishes to have happen, then she will. But unfortunately, because she got such a bad story about this guy, she's not going to be able to harmoniously co-parent with this person because she's got a fucking shit story about him. So no matter what happens, even if she gets that child back, unless she has a story that she can co-parent peacefully with this person, she's going to create endless situations with this guy where they fight, where it's not amicable, where they have custody battles, and it will just go on, and it will probably cost her hundreds of thousands of dollars in lawyers for the rest of her life. Because she really wants to have a really bad story about this fucking guy. Even though he literally created himself for her, the dream person she most wanted. He turned up at an airport pretending to bump into her and created the man she dreamed of, and she fucking fell for it. And now she's surprised that it's all gone to shit. It seems like Liz doesn't understand the law. Of course she doesn't. That's how she's got herself in this situation. Now, I'm not saying that when you understand the law of assumption, when you understand creation, reality creation, when you understand what I am really means, when you understand how this works, that no one has any free will but to be made manifest how you imagine them based on your imaginings of yourself, your concepts of yourself. I'm not saying that bad things won't happen to you. Of course, shit happens because you'll manifest it. You will still hold fears that are hidden away, that you haven't uncovered. You will still perceive things wrong. Shit will still occur. I'm really sorry. No one's perfect. I will have shit happen all the time in my reality that I know I caused. I had a conversation yesterday with somebody getting annoyed about something somebody's done, and I know full well, and I admitted it just to them a couple of hours ago, I've manifested that. This is what I feared would happen, and it's happened. So I'm not even annoyed at the person. Because I know how this works. When you don't know how this works, it's when you hold on to resentment, you hate people, you call them abusers and misogynists and narcissists and all this shit, and you constantly just blame the other, and you do not take any accountability for the fears you still hold that are creating the fucking situation. Are you getting this? And if the wizard Liz does not become aware of her own stuff, she will continue to create a situation that's unfavorable with her child and with this guy, and it will possibly get much, much worse for her, unfortunately. Yes, she won't seem to acknowledge where she manifested this. She has no awareness of what manifestation truly is. She thinks manifestation is just positive things. And a lot of coaches who don't understand this, or just gurus, or whatever the fuck she is. When I did my first video, I was like, she's not a coach. I don't care what the fuck she is. She claims herself to be a person you should listen to and take advice from. So in my mind, she's effectively kind of coaching you, yeah, because she espouses herself to be this guru of self-love and independent womanhood. So if you're going to be that, you better fucking know yourself. If people are going to be listening to you and taking advice from you online and following your every move and everything you say, you better be saying the right shit, and you better fucking know yourself, and you better not be a person who constantly blames everyone else for the reality you fucking caused from your complete unawareness about yourself. So do not claim to be a person who understands themselves so well and is such a guru to be followed if you keep creating so much shit that you're totally unaware you created. Don't be a guru then. You can't be a guru and then plead for help on a live. I don't plead for help from people. I know how I created my shit. I'm not saying I'm perfect, and I'm not saying I don't create shit, but I am very aware how I create it. And I'll be completely honest about that. And you've got to be brutally discerning, guys, about people who claim to be fucking perfect and talk down on you when you're not. Now, so many of you will watch me and say, but you shout at us. I'm shouting at you to fucking shake you so this shit doesn't happen to you. Do you want to be as asleep as her? Do you want to keep creating crap in your reality like her and playing the eternal fucking victim and not understanding how you created it? Or do you want to know how you manifested your fears? So go and get my ebook, my little mini course called You Manifest Your Fears if you fucking want to get this. And you'll get on my email list. You'll know the latest YouTubes that are going off. You'll get lessons and tasks about them every week. And you'll fucking learn something about yourself. Then come and join my free group, Subconscious Laws in Facebook. If you don't want to come and join us right now for the free will course in the squad, the paid group, just join my free group and learn from people who fucking get this. And stop following gurus who don't. I don't feel bad for her, unfortunately, because I literally told you guys shit like this was going to happen to her fucking a year ago. As so many other people who understood this did. And when I point this out to people, I remember I pointed this out to a girl who'd manifested a situation on TikTok. She was dating a guy and I said, this is going to happen. And then it fucking happened. And this girl hated my guts. And I'm not psychic. I can just see what's going to happen based on your fears, based on your concept of yourself and your concept of men and your concept of relationships and your concepts of life. It's not hard, guys. It's like sitting down and watching Married at First Sight and screaming at the television because you can see everyone's fucked up self-concept and exactly what's going to occur. And then lo and behold, all their fears manifest. And if you watch Married at First Sight Australia this year, you'll see every single girl, her fears manifested. And then she turns around and blames the guy. But if you watch the first couple of episodes, their fears come out of their mouths. And then the guy turns up exactly like that. He had no free will but to be that way. Landon has no free will but to be exactly what Liz fears. And now she's shocked. Now she's surprised. Now she's pleading on lives for help. Ain't nothing going to help her unless she changes her thinking about men, relationships, and most of all herself. That she doesn't get hurt, that she doesn't get abused, that no one's trying to control her, that no one takes advantage of her, that no one uses her. And unfortunately, when you've had abuse in your childhood, you will get constantly used and abused until you stop having the story that happens to you. Whether it's financial abuse or being used financially or whatever it is that's happening to her right now. It'll be using or abusing in some form, unfortunately. So do you want to become aware of yourself? Or do you want to play the eternal victim too and blame the other for how they're treating you, even though they can only be how you're imagining yourself to be? It's so easy to be the victim, but if you listen to Loz and do the work, your life can be just as you want it. Exactly, Nicole. Is Liz's issue more of a self-concept issue, a view of men? Well, she obviously has a fucking shit story of men. Because if you listen to her talking about men on her videos, it's so negative. Have you ever, when you've watched me, hear me speak about men that way? So I don't have men treat me that way in my life. I just don't. I don't even discover men like that in my life. And if I have, it's when I wasn't aware of myself. If I have, it's when I wasn't facing my own shit back in the day, okay? Since focusing 100% on self-concept and doing your course, everything has changed. Men coming out of nowhere. Wonderful, Mel. Guys, if you really want to learn this, if you really want to uncover what I'm talking about self-concept, meaning your ideas of yourself, I have an original course called, my self-concept course called A Kick-Ass You, and there is also another course called Worthy as Fuck for Love. And if you are seeking love and you are like Liz and you aren't aware of what's going on in your life right now in your relationships, I highly recommend you do that course because I assess you with a blind assessment and it tells you how people show up in love for you, what the patterns are that you keep creating and how to fix it. Because a lot of you are blind to yourselves. And that assessment in that course and also in the self-concept course, Kick-Ass You has an assessment. It'll assess you because so many of you are just like Liz and you have no idea. And that's not your fault. Your mind is trying to keep you safe. It's not telling you who you are. It's keeping you who you are. It doesn't keep reminding you who you are. It's just trying to keep you safe, keep you alive. Loz, you are a genius. Oh, thank you, darling. I'm not really a genius. I just read people, right? I just got your content so significant from Ethiopia. Oh, Ethiopia. Wonderful. I'm confused. What course should I do? Okay. So if you want to uncover your fears in love, I would do Worthy as Fuck for Love. Okay. That's a paid course. However, you can just go and do my free course right now called You Manifest Your Fears. Okay. In my link tree. However, right now inside my group, if you also want support, join me live to answer your questions. Join my mentors live. and do my no free will master course, which is happening right now on my paid group. You can get the support and a course that will help you with this called the No Free Will Master Course in my Subconscious Laws Squad private monthly coaching group in Facebook. So if you come and join my squad in my link tree right now, you can start the course. We're up to part 4. Part 4 dropped today. It's going throughout the month of May into the month of June. I go live every single Thursday. I can answer your questions. My mentors go live on a Monday. They talk about all the themes of the week and what everyone's asking in my Q&A forum. You can ask your questions in there and you'll get so much support. And if you don't understand how this works, you will understand it if you join the squad. All right, guys, I hope this helps. I hope Liz watches this. Fatima watches this. I hope she wakes up to her own stuff. Probably won't, knowing how she is and how she likes to know everything and blame the other and play the victim. But hopefully one day she will stop playing the victim and actually become aware. And that is all I'm ever trying to teach you. I'm not trying to put anybody down. I am trying to make you aware of yourself. And when you become aware, that's where the power lies. And then you can change what's happening to you, because it's not happening to you. You're creating it, unfortunately. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. If you've never watched me before, make sure to subscribe and follow me. And I'll be putting this on my YouTube channel, Subconscious Laws, so you can watch it back if I've answered anything here that was ailing you in your love life. And you can also, like I said, go and do the free course, You Manifest Your Fears, right now. All right, guys, I'll see you later.